This episode is brought to you by the outstanding shows of the You Run Podcast Network. From TV to true crime and everything in between, the network is your home of entertainment. So don't delay. Join in with the fun at yourunpodcast.com today.
Mark?
Hello?
What fucks like a porn star and winks?
I don't know. What fucks like a porn star and winks? Oh, dude, I can't even look at you right now.
Mom! Phineas and Ferb are making another winter-themed title sequence!
It's Christmas time, it's the time to be afraid. It's Christmas time, it's time to talk about being named. And on this podcast of horror, we'll spread a little fear. Watch a horror movie now and grab a beer. And then Scott mentions the actress's boobs, followed by Mark saying, come on, dude. This is the place to have fun and say a curse or two. You Run Podcast Horror Movie Review. Watch a horror, do it now, it's Christmas time. Watch a horror, do it now, it's Christmas time. Watch a horror, then listen to a great fun review. Run Past Christmas. Do it now, it's Christmas time. Do it now, it's Christmas time. Watch a horror, then listen to a great fun review. Run Past Christmas. You Run Podcast Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Hello and welcome to the You Run Podcast Horror Movie Review. My name is Scott.
My name is Mark.
And today we bring you the most Christmassy episode ever that does not contain a Christmas movie.
I don't know how we got this so wrong.
Nor do I. Neither you nor me had seen this. We polled it, and this beat Black Christmas in the final. Like by a landslide, this one.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, you would assume, following on from the first movie, that this would be a seasonal horror film, but yeah, it's not. There isn't a single bit of Christmas in this movie. No,
there really isn't. This is an interactive show. We thrive on everything that you bring us. This year, we've had a fabulous year. If you follow us on social media, you saw that our Spotify Wrapped, we've grown so massively. And before we start, I wanted to say thank you because it's been fucking huge. Like the number growth and the amount of listeners and the amount of countries, like everything's like doubled from last year, which is incredible.
Yeah, because last year was a good year as well.
Yeah. So we're obviously doing something right. I don't know if that's going to carry on after this episode, but hey, make sure you drop us a follow on social media. We're at You Run Podcast. We're absolutely everywhere. We're on Blue Sky now as well. You can find us. If you're on a social media, type in You Run Podcast. We are there. Also follow Mark on Instagram. He's at Reviews from the Crypt and at VHS from the Crypt. Get in touch by email, yourunpodcast@gmail.com, or record us an audio voicemail, which for the first week in a long time, we haven't got any, which is fine. Like this episode is going to be packed enough without any messages at all. We are running
I need a break anyway.
Yeah,
you pretty heated.
You've been hammered for a long time, which I think will continue today, but live. We are running a competition to win some of our merchandise. All you need to do is leave us leave us a 5-star review, Apple or Spotify, screenshot it and send it to us, or leave us a comment on Spotify. And we've got a lot of comments. I'm going to talk about some of those later. If you've never listened before, we give you a synopsis of the movie. We tell you what we liked and didn't like in no particular order. We do a couple of interactive features. We have games, we do facts, we give you some scores, and that's kind of how the show works. From time to time, we have guests. Guests have been inconsistent this year, and we've had sort of a guest, then no guest for ages, then another guest, then no guest for ages, then 2 guests back to back. And next year, we're going to be giving you 1 guest a month, guaranteed. And possibly more than that. We're going to kick that off in late January, but with the boys from the You're Going to Eat That Crust podcast are going to come and join us. Don't know what we're doing yet, but that's going to be a really cool episode. But today we have a guest who's been involved in the show since we began. She made her first appearance in 2021. The episode after Mark made his very first appearance on the show, also in 2021. Both Mark and this guest went on to be two of my closest friends. And I'm not shitting you, like my closest two friends, to the point that
I don't have friends. I got family.
like
Oh, no.
we are that close. Our guest is a podcasting icon, the provider of the most controversial voicemails we ever receive, like without a doubt. A lady who gives absolute zero fucks and holds absolutely nothing back. You may know her as Texas Twilight. You may also know her as Wednesday Wine and Horror. But to us, she's just a wonderful sister from another mister, the fabulous Heather Silver.
Yeehaw.
What is the intro music? What is that? What is that? I'm not from Texas. Once again.
I've not heard it. Is it Wheel of Fortune or something like that?
It's something like that.
I don't even know what to say. Do you ever leave me speechless?
Not very often, but I think we will a lot today.
Ask Mark, because apparently I talk too much. So ask Mark.
Well,
ask Mark. He's right there.
hopefully you just rein it down a bit tonight. You know, we haven't got all night.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Are you going to be well? Are you going to be well behaved today, or is your language going to be bad?
When am I ever naughty? You're naughty. You're naughty. Oh God. You're enraging me.
I'm really pleased that you're here. It's very rare that the three of us all get together. We tend to do it once a year.
Yeah.
This episode is going to be wild. And I want to ask you now, do you want to deal with Mark now, or do you want to save it and deal with him as we go through the episode?
What have I done now?
Well, I mean, like, okay, so I have to say, I'm not going to be no voicemails because I'm on the show. So you didn't get any voicemails. I'm the main one who leaves you the voice messages. I will just deal with Mark as we go.
Hey, you leave the Tash out of this.
It's very nice.
Very nice.
No, I'll deal with him. This is the thing. I don't have to deal with him on a normal basis, right? And it's like when we get together, we do these holiday themed recordings, which this is not a Christmas movie. I'm always pregnant. When we did Jack Frost, I was pregnant. I couldn't drink. I can't drink this time. So y'all are really on my nerves because I can't. Like, this is just, I just have to be sober and I'm pregnant.
We should make a pact now to have you on after the baby's here and your first drinking session, just so we've got that window of opportunity.
We will eventually do that, like in 10 years from now when I'm not fucking pregnant anymore.
I like us in the group chat the other day. Find a TV series and watch that instead of doing the other thing that makes you pregnant.
Whatever. I can still get it. So just don't make it on me.
Right. Well, today we are taking a dive into a movie, if you can class an hour and 15 movie with 20 minutes of flashbacks and end credits a movie. The Gingerdead man is back, and this time he's on the set of what I can only describe as a Weinstein production with the amount of sexual harassment going on.
I don't know.
After reading a prop spell book, Gingy is out to transfer his soul into a real boy, unlike any other movie I've ever heard of. It may not be original, but the terrible version of Jim Henson Productions in this movie is very original. This movie is... I'm not going to give any more away. Let's just...
It's dog shit.
Let's just dive in. I want to start in a very specific place. And I want to start with the moment that we're introduced to the animatronic puppets of this production, and we're introduced to a possessed dildo. Thoughts?
Okay.
I'll let you take this one, Heather.
Let me just tell you something. When I watched this, I don't even know if I'm going to call it a movie. Okay. I'm going to say someone's fucking boredom. Charles Band, I'm coming for you if you fucking ever listen to this, you piece of shit, making this movie. So I'm laying in bed watching this, and then I see like the puppets come up. You know, I know they're not using CGI because they have $5 to make the movie. And so I'm like, that's a real dick. That is not I've never seen a dildo that looked like a slimy ass real dick. That shit looked like Girth Brooks. That's what it looked like. Did y'all not? It had a pee hole. Thank you.
Why is it wearing a tux?
Why
I
is
wasn't
it
sure.
have hair and eyes? I mean, I guess it's a puppet, right? So the puppets for me, 0 out of 10. I was like, this is my toddler could make something better than this bullshit. I know it's low budget. I get it. No, I get it. I love low budget. Give it all to me. Give me all the low budget stuff.
See,
But yeah, I liked it. I don't mind it. I
Slimy.
thought it was cool. I like the one that was like a kettle, but with machine guns attached to
It
the
was
side
a
of
coffee percolator. It was a
it. A
percolator.
percolator. That's I don't know
Yes.
what a percolator is. I don't drink coffee, but it just had like little Uzis on the side of it. I was
Okay.
that's awesome.
It's sort of like a teapot. Sort of,
Yeah.
it kind of in the same realm. Like you heat up the water. Sometimes you have like a coffee, like you can put coffee underneath it, sort of type of thing. It's so that you can make your coffee a little more fresh than running it through a machine, so to speak.
Right. Well, that was cool. It had guns.
Yeah, and when
Sure.
they got to that character, it also done a little bit of like the Terminator, and there's a lot of movie references in this, a lot.
Was
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ridiculous amounts of movie references. But the thing about it is I appreciated that. I thought it was quite cool. And you know what? Like as bad as this movie is, it falls within the same realm of a Scream movie, but like contained to the Full Moon universe. Like it's almost like they're taking the piss out of themselves. Like every time there was like cock-ups and things like that behind the sets on the production, it's like it was almost like they were taking the piss out of themselves throughout this movie. And I liked that. I thought it was quite funny.
Honestly, this is Full Moon's production of Scream 3. That's what this feels like to me.
I think this is the closest thing you would get to a Full Moon version of a Scream movie, the way that they're like self-referencing themselves throughout all the time. I thought it was quite funny.
I was going to go with Scream 2 just because I don't like Scream 2 as much. It's a little too... the singing montage on the cafeteria
I think I
table.
love you.
Okay, Jerry O'Connell, stand by me, but don't go away. But no, I didn't get. I know we're going to continue talking about it. I just don't. I can't put it in a realm of any films or movies. It's like, you know that saying, if you know, what is it? If you can or something, but like just because you can doesn't mean you should.
I don't know. I thought he was on board. And
Charles Band. I'm about to troll his ass. I'm telling y'all.
See, there's elements of the story that I think would work if they were better fleshed out, like the studio failing. The studio's going bust and they're making 100 million different movies to try and make something work. You've got a killer on set that is killing people, that's causing further issues to their production. Like, take the Gingerdead man out of this, make it a real slasher, a real person, and give it a budget, and you've actually got a really good story. This is a really well-crafted film. It's just...
Well, then you do have a Scream 3. If that's the case. I mean, so it's a very low-budget Scream 3, you know, but you literally have almost the same plot of like, we're come off as the script is coming through. The gingerbread or Gingerdead cookie, what are we calling it? I don't know, but like that thing looked like somebody's Christmas shit. I don't even know what it was. It didn't even look like a cookie. Have you ever seen a cookie look like that?
See, the thing is, like, you have no reference because you didn't watch the first one, which rightly so. You shouldn't watch the first one. It's fucking.
I
dog
watched
shit,
the
but-
first 5-minute montage, and the only part that I enjoyed was Gary Busey's big fucking coffin teeth showing, acting crazy. Because I was like, oh, well,
about
Gary
buttered sausage,
Busey, like
where it
he's.
comes from, what it does, why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my.
I think that's fake. But anyways, we're not going to get into that argument again. But Gary Busey, like I can see him playing something insane. So the first one may have been better. I didn't watch
No,
it.
it's not. It's not. That's what's weird about it. For watching this movie, like this is a vast improvement in terms of its overall
Well, then
production and the quality of the effects. The puppetry is a vast improvement. Like the story actually makes sense in this movie as opposed to the first one. So, like for me, it's very difficult to trash this wholeheartedly, knowing how bad the first movie is. Because I went in expecting that level of dog shit, and because I got something that was marginally better. It's hard to then call this film out and be like, this film shit, because it's not. It's much better than the first.
I don't know. I have nothing to reference it to. I can't really do that comparison, obviously. So I'm just going to go with like, I didn't like it. So
oh, no, you're well within your rights to do so. It's just because I have that contrasting element of the first movie in my mind.
Exactly.
One thing this film does terribly, and it made me cringe how bad it is the stereotyping of characters.
Yes.
Like the portrayal of a gay man in this is so offensive. And even the portrayal of the portrayal of the older failing actress that she's just a slut.
With the big boobies.
She now wants to sleep with everyone on set to try and get back in front of camera. Like this movie is so Full Moon Productions as a general statement are not politically correct.
They're very offensive. They're very offensive. And it leads me to bring up the point where you guys were shitting on Warwick Davis about how he made such a offensive film. And I get that, but like, did you not watch this fucking movie? Because this movie might be more offensive.
I definitely is. But the thing is, you come to expect it from a Full Moon production. That's the problem. It's like every Full Moon film I've seen is either extremely racist, extremely sexist, extremely homophobic, and you kind of know what you're getting into with these movies in a way.
I like trauma films better. I tend to. There are some trauma films I like better than Full Moon. Full Moon is
I think they both fall into the same sort of category.
They do,
but I do think that trauma is less offensive in that sense.
I mean, there's one called Mother's Day. There's one called Mother's Day that's it's pretty. I
haven't seen that one.
It's I love it. It's one of my favorite trauma films. But anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Gingerdead Man, The Passion of the Crust.
We are, and I want to talk about the Make-A-Wish kid from Wish, who's not a kid. He's a fully grown ass adult.
I knew that motherfucker didn't have no cancer as soon as he came on there.
I didn't.
And she wheeled Hot Wheels up in there. I said, "Ain't nothing wrong with him. This is a setup. This is a setup." Because I know y'all. Y'all should have known it was fake. It was something. There was something going on, kind of weird.
I text Scott straight away. I did. As soon as it twists, I was like, "Oh shit, man!"
Nope.
Blew my mind. I was like, "I cannot believe it! I cannot believe it!" Talk about fucking red herring. What is this dude doing? It made me laugh earlier on where she was like the main guy. And then his little side chick was like making out on that rock, and he was just there in the chair next to him. I was like, "What are you doing?"
And the whole time they have the chain over him, and you're like, he literally just moved that chain with no effort. He could have gone.
But he does repeatedly to sort of say, like, "Yeah, this is stupid."
Yeah, so he's under the chain, and he takes his arm out to roll over to kiss her, and then he puts his arm back under the chain to be trapped.
He's like, "Oh, look at me!" And it's like, I cannot, like I said,
it was hilarious. How was that not funny?
It's funny now. Okay, I'll tell you this. I'm gonna enjoy talking about this movie with y'all and shitting on it way more than I will. I will never watch this again. I told Steven, I was like, "Well, you missed out on such a cinematic piece," and he's like, "Oh, you hated it." And if you hated it, and he knows how much I like low budget horror, he's like, "Well," I was like, Don't worry about it. Don't watch
Yeah.
it.
Let's talk about the studio owner. So the guy who's running his dad's studio. His dad had a successful studio,
Mhm.
had a really successful series of movies. He's trying to make a sequel to that. He is the most Weinstein character I have ever seen. He's the most corrupt motherfucker trying to cook the books. Will just make it work to his accountant. He's touching and groping every single woman who works for him, apart from the hot, or not hot, the
older.
Yeah, apart from the older one, and then the girl
Yeah.
with her little brother, the Make-A-Wish kid, and within 2 minutes of meeting her, he's got his tongue down her throat, and the guy's just
She was hitting
there
on
just looking.
him. Hello. Did you not see
She was.
that? She was
She was.
sliding out of her fucking pants. And I'm like,
this is it. You know, he's not going to
she
say no,
did
is he?
it. She insinuated it with him, honestly. I mean, not to defend him. He was reading his lines like someone had a cue card going, read your lines. No affect in his voice. He was just like, oh yeah, okay. And I'm like, and that girl fell in love with him in 2
I have
minutes.
to feel like that was intentional. I feel like the quality of the acting as well, and the way that they were playing the performances was intentionally bad. I don't think I often, when I watch movies like this where they're that bad and they're doing it purposefully to be that bad, I think that's more commendable, because it must be really hard to perform such a wooden performance. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always think, God, that must be so hard to be able to play such an unnatural character.
I don't know.
I mean, I get
every
that.
week.
I get that. But again, it's still like her falling in love with him.
It's dog shit.
It's like, what? You don't even know him. She was like ignoring the Tommy. That was his name, right? The Make-A-Wish Tommy. Okay.
Yeah.
And then her name is Heather. So of course I remember her name. I'm just like, why y'all got to put my name in this shit? Like,
as soon as they introduced her as Heather, I laughed my ass off. Like, that gave me a
I
chuckle.
knew you did.
Like, Heather's in this
I
movie.
knew you did.
We get
I was
an
like, this is
excellent.
why I picked it.
We get an excellent tour around the studio, though, and we get to see all the other sets. And I'll be honest, some of the set designs that they've got on this set, like the Alien set, the actual set looks great. But then you put a girl in silver underwear and have two men spanking her with paddles.
Her.
Why?
I thought it was like a porn. Like I thought, well, we kind of, I mean, it could be a basis for a porn, the way it was set up, especially the older chick trying to get the dick from the vampire looking dude.
What sort of porn are you watching, Heather?
I don't watch any porn. Actually, I don't need to. I'm pregnant and I just walk by and I get pregnant. That's just how it is. Okay. Don't need to watch anything. I got the Song of the South in my pants right now, honey. I don't need to. Ask my husband. He sings all the time. Anyways, it looks like, it looks like a damn porn set. If you want to go stereotypical, let's just do that, right? She's like, they're spanking her with a paddle.
Yeah.
What movie do you see? Okay, well, other than porn, what fucking movie are you watching that has spanking in it?
I can't remember the reason why they were doing it as well. There was a reason for it.
It was to get the alien out of her.
To get the alien out of me.
So she had the equivalent of a chest burster in her, and she wanted to stop it burst out of her chest. And the only way to get it out was for her to bend over and be paddled until she spat it out.
Okay, sure. I'll just remember that. Oh, you're being a naughty girl. Let me paddle the bad out of you. What was she gonna shit it out on the table? Like, how is it coming out?
And the thing is, I've seen a lot of full moon movies where stuff like that genuinely happens and it's purposeful to the plot. You know, that's why it's funny, because it is self-referential.
Yeah, but like, there's nothing in this that is reference to the plot. Even like the Gingerdead man finds a book that he needs to transfer his soul, and he finds an old prop book that of spells that he's like, oh well, this will obviously work. And he runs off with it, and then it works out he needs to kill 5 people to then kill a 6th and transfer himself into that person. I want to talk about
I can't.
Can we talk about curling irons for a minute? Do they get that hot?
Sleepaway camp. That's all I could think of.
Yeah.
Sleepaway
think
Camp, the original.
just for entertainment purposes, Mark, can you talk us through this kill?
I mean, well, I probably could, but I feel like asking me to do this kill would probably get me cancelled. So I'm going to choose not to, purely based on the things I might
because of the
say.
gay community. Yeah, we don't need him.
I've already been
We don't need
stricken
him
off
to
the
do that.
record, so
Yeah, you're already feuding with the gays. I'll take this one, and I'll handle it as delicately as I can handle this scene. So there is a incredibly badly stereotyped gay man who's dancing around in his office, and then he drops something and he gets on the floor. While he's doing this, the Gingerdead man heats up a curling iron that for some reason heats so it's white hot that it would melt your hair off. And while he's bent over, he then proceeds to stick it up his anus and then ram it backwards and forwards. And it's so badly stereotyped that just before the gay man dies, he goes, "Oh yeah," and
he enjoys it. He enjoys
my
it.
hands went up in the air. I was like,
didn't.
It was like that thick too.
It was. It had girth.
It was some girth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was very, like I said, Girth Brooks. There you go. No, this is my thing on that kill. First of all, the I don't know his name. I can't remember his name in the film. The character who's portraying the gay man, but he's the one that plugged up this. Yeah, he's the one that plugged up the so-called curling iron. He turns around because he spills something, so he's like wiping it up, and he's already like in doggy style position. My thing was, Gingerdead man just shoves it up his asshole, but it's literally like his pants were up. How did you? It just went right in like hot butter. It just went right up there.
It was like a
it
fucking
was so
lightsaber.
ridiculous. What was he gonna do? Curl his fucking hair with that? He would have been bald.
He was he had the straightest hair I've ever seen in my life. Why has he got a curling iron in the first place?
I don't know. I don't know. The curling iron kill in Sleepaway Camp, even though it's like off camera and you don't see it, it's implied. That was more terrifying because it's being shoved up her vajanga. And so you're like, oh my God. But it also made more sense. Also, that probably would not kill you, put you into shock, be very bad. But this dude's like, oh yes, I love this. And I'm like,
yeah. I think that was it for me. I think it was the enjoyment from the character. It was like, did you have to? Did you? I mean, I get it. I get what you're trying to do here.
They could have killed him a
the
different
approach
way.
with the kill. It's still very offensive. But then to have the guy have pleasure from the act itself, I was like, that's just too far, man. You didn't need to do that. But I did laugh. I'm not going to lie to you all. I did laugh.
I mean, I didn't really laugh. I was more like, question mark. My face literally turned into a question mark. Like I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing because it was funny. I was laughing because I was like, that's so not obscene. Right. You shouldn't do that.
It's like how I deal with trauma stuff. I'm the type of person that would make a joke about death.
Yeah.
Because it's how I deal with something that is actually really bothering me. And that was offensive to me as a non-gay person. And I can't imagine, like, I mean, I get it. It's full moon. He really showed his ass in this one, didn't he? Because there you go.
The other thing about like that as well, like I'd like to know, if there's any gay people who have watched it and seen this, did they find that offensive? Like, are we getting offended for other people who actually probably don't be offended by stuff like this?
Well, it really depends, and that's hard for us to speak on. I think that might be why you be getting in trouble, Mark, sometimes.
Well, I know, but these are the kind of questions I ask because that's where my brain goes to. I'm like, we purposefully being offended for somebody else who's actually probably sat there laughing at the stereotypes that have been presented?
Any gay listeners we have, so we've got a big proportion of gay listeners. So any gay listeners we have, this is free on YouTube. Search Gingerdead Man 2. Watch the movie for an hour and 15 minutes and call into the show and tell us if we're being offended on your behalf when we really shouldn't. But I've got a feeling this is kind of offensive across the board. This movie has got a character that was so queued up to be a cameo of anybody, just anybody, even remotely famous. And it's just a random old guy. Like,
I was expecting like Kenny Rogers to come in at the end or something like that.
And his character's pointless, like this angry old, like posh British actor who didn't even
Yeah, I
sound
didn't
British.
understand.
I mean, he kind of saved the day at the end, so I mean, he's not that pointless.
Yeah, but
mean,
he thought
sure.
it was the scene for the movie, and the fact that like Gingerdead man completes his ritual, but he doesn't transfer his soul, but he brings all the other puppets to life, and
Yeah.
they crucify him. Why? Can someone explain to me why they crucify the Gingerdead man?
I don't know anything of what. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that guy's character, he kind of gave me like the Sam Elliott Roadhouse vibes. Like he's supposed to be this hardened, kind of older, sexy man. And I say sexy in quotations because, you know, that's subjective. If you think Sam Elliott is nice looking, and he was in Roadhouse, I mean, for an older man. But it's like he gives those vibes, but then wasn't his name like Sir Ian McKellen, something that sounded
like
very Harry Potter-ish or something? And I was like, where are we go? Like, what are we playing this off of? And I had to keep trying to think of actors that would be English actors or whatever that would be older. And I just couldn't think of anybody off the top of my head, but I feel like they were referencing someone.
See,
I don't know
went down the route
what
of
they were doing.
either Ian Kellen or Patrick Stewart. That's kind of
Okay,
where
that's okay. Yes, that makes sense. Patrick Stewart, maybe, kind of, sort of. But I just, again, I didn't get it either because it's like he's just pissed off in his trailer because the guy basically was like, "Oh, come do this film for me," but it was just a big waste of his time because look at
I
his
mean,
movies.
it's that whole washed out celebrity thing, isn't it? Like he obviously
Yeah.
had a peak in his career, and now he's just doing shitty little full moon movies. And he obviously resents doing that, but he's still got to get paid, you know. And that was the kind of approach I took with it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
He's unimportant.
Back to the crucifixion. This is a full-on the Passion of Christ. You watch them pin him down, nail him to a cross, put a wreath of thorns on his head, and this whole scene. And then the guy comes and kills them all. But this whole scene made no sense to me. It didn't tie into the plot at all. It was just there, I'm guessing, to be religiously offensive.
To be a play off the title of the Passion of the Crust. I mean,
Yeah.
I assume I didn't get it either. And then I kept thinking when I was watching it, I was like, I don't see anything Christmas, and I'm just waiting on Santa Claus to show his dick or something. Like, give me some fa la 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 la, fuck you is what I got. I didn't get.
That's it. You didn't. There was no like Christmas music themes.
Nothing.
There was no Christmas trees. Or
Not
Christmas
even
hats.
somebody's birthday. Nothing.
No.
Not even a fucking jingle bell. We saw a fake dick.
I love cock.
That thing was too wet. That thing was shiny.
Wet?
I did not. Why did it need to be so slimy?
That was too wet.
It was so fucking shiny. It was so shiny that I was like, did this thing use Soul Glow from Coming to America? Like, did it spray itself down?
That has broken me.
I think this is a good time to take a break. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I definitely need a break.
When you have finished this episode, why not head over to yourunpodcast.com and see what else is on offer. Launched at the start of the year, the network is a place for podcasters and YouTubers alike to showcase their fantastic work. Over the last 12 months, we have carefully curated a selection of 15 shows, bringing you something to suit all tastes. Movie reviews, TV series discussion, true crime, conspiracy theories, paranormal investigation, and crypt tales are a selection of what is on offer. Also on the website, you will find links to all of our socials, our shop, and our first feature-length film. The You Run Podcast Network really is your home of entertainment, so don't delay, get online and visit yourunpodcast.com and find your next binge-worthy experience. Now back to the show.
The network
I just cannot. I cannot. Y'all, I have a baby sitting on my bladder, and so like I'm already like accidentally might pee myself through this episode. I don't care because I don't care. I don't care. How much more offensive can we get if Heather pisses her pants? Like, so what?
I'm not sure. I maybe a little bit more. I go and check out. Since I'd done that VT, it's actually grown. The network is now 19 members plus our shows. It's a very big network now. I also want to give a shout out to another creator that we know who's been a guest on the show, and that's Chunky Larry. This is Creature Pod. So
Mhm.
Larry has landed himself something very, very special. I want to let you all know where it is. So Larry's got a show called Creature Curations. God, I can't even speak. But this isn't something he's putting out on YouTube or something he's putting out on TikTok. He's actually signed to Miami Fox Streaming and has a weekly show on a streaming service. Miami Fox Streaming is like $3 a month. Go and check it out. They've got hundreds of thousands of horror movies on there, loads of other movies as well. And you've got Larry's show as well, which is Creature Feature Curations. I will get it out. So go and check that out. Larry, over the moon that this happened to you. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. So yeah, go and check that out as well.
That's pretty cool. He's doing better than Full Moon. Go Larry.
Larry is better than Full Moon, and his episodes are so fucking well edited and so slick. Like how it transitions into film clips and then back to him, and he's in a big like old style cinema where he's filmed it all. It's so cool. Go and check it out.
I like a good edit, like a good clean, crispy podcast. I like a good that's. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go check it out. I haven't checked it out. I haven't listened to any new podcast in quite some time.
But yeah, go and check it out. Like I said earlier, we have no voicemails. We do, however, have some comments from Spotify. DJ Chasm, don't be a literal cunt. I had to rewind it from laughing too hard. So that was reference to Heather's beautiful message last week.
Very nasty message from last week.
It's not as nasty as that dildo in the movie, but anyways.
Video Tasties, he was listening to last week's episode, which was our Christmas Evil episode, and he turned off after hearing Jim stuck his fingers up Mark, and I had to reiterate to him, no, Jim stuck his fingers up at Mark. So he thought Jim was touching Mark inappropriately.
I love Jim. Jim's my friend.
And then we've got Craig from the Sinister Screen Pod. That intro is the fucking best, and you cover my favorite Christmas themed horror of all time. Now, we've also had a chunk of listeners listening to older episodes that you could now also comment on, and they've listened to some older ones, then they've come forward and listened to some new ones, and we have multiple complaints.
Oh shit.
We have multiple people complaining that we took away the spoiler warning from Heather.
Oh shit! I'm not.
Yes, I forgot all about that. I used to love that on the show. Where has that gone?
I'll send you one. I'll send y'all one. I was wondering. I wrote out some that I was going to send to you months ago. Remember, we discussed this.
Yeah. Do you want to try one live? Like you're here.
No, I don't want to try one live. I can't do it when I'm pressured.
No pressure. No pressure. The thing is, though, because we changed the format of the show, we don't do a play-by-play anymore. So, like,
that's
we're
why
obviously just talking about key moments.
That's why I didn't send them to Scott, because I was like, well, he hasn't said anything else. I'll save these in my notes. Of course, they're just cliff notes of like what I would say.
The thing is that people
are being replaced by like extensive voicemail messages now that go on forever.
There you go. My voice messages are the. If you listen to the You Run podcast, that is your spoiler warning. Okay, there you go. Merry fucking Christmas. Because I mean, it's gonna. You talk about the film. You talk about the movie. How much of a spoiler warning? This is one thing I will never understand. Why people get mad to begin with if they can't fucking read to say, like I said before, if you can't read the title and understand if you've seen it or not, why are you getting pissed off at everybody because it got spoiled for you? Like, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah, I would never go and listen to a podcast on a movie that I'm anticipating watching. Do you know what I mean? Like,
if I didn't want it ruined for me.
Well,
yeah,
every
that's just the most
podcast,
bizarre thing.
And that's
every
perfect.
podcast is a spoiler warning. Every podcast that is fucking created makes sure they discuss details. That's the.
It's like you guys having a spoiler warning on your true crime episodes. But I can't believe you dived into the verdict on that case. Like I hadn't read up on that yet.
Yeah, this is true. Let's do some
Anyway.
facts. Now, there was a fact that I got wrong. We're not going to address it. We're just going to
Yeah,
skim
we
over
are.
it.
No, we are.
Yeah,
I
we
see how
are,
long
man,
we've
because
been
we have
recording,
spent the
bitch.
vast
We're gonna
majority of the
no,
day.
no.
So I found a fact online that
You found
said
shit.
Gary Busey voiced the Gingerdead Man in this movie, and I stuck it in my facts. It turns out that I was incorrect, and this caused a
Yep.
massive row in our group chat, and also caused me to go and create our brand new
Talk
T-shirt.
about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face.
Which you can now get at yourunpodcast.com.
Well,
I
the
was
reason
wrong.
it caused such a problem is because you were so adamant. You were so adamant, even though you had so much evidence in front of you. And it was like pages and pages and pages saying Gary Busey didn't voice it. It was voiced by this actor, so on and so
Yeah,
on.
one
And you
of
found
two
like one
actors.
smidging, one tiny little smidging, which you must have had to scour the internet to find. And then you were
No,
sold. You're like, yeah, no, this is fact. This is fact. I found it. And refused to let it go.
It's because he saw on IMDb that Gary Busey was credited or uncredited, however, whatever. It's because they show him in the first few minutes of the montage.
Yeah.
So you know how flashbacks work. I don't guess that your DeLorean doesn't work because you need to get your shit together. And like, I don't get it. But I knew that he wasn't because when I heard the voice, I was like, that's not Gary Busey. Now, I
No.
listened to the voice on the other one and I was like, that's Gary Busey. But like, this is not. And the guy who they are, I'd say like 99% sure is doing it is John Vulich or something.
It is, yeah.
He passed away in 2016 though. So he's no longer with us.
And it
He
got
was like
really,
a special effects creator or something.
yeah, it got really heated in the group chat.
It did. It did.
Really
Well,
heated.
you brought it all on by yourself, though. You brought it on yourself. It was your adamant that you wasn't going to let it drop.
No, I wasn't, but I have now. I accept that I'm wrong. So I'm going to give you some other facts, and hopefully you haven't fucking fact checked me on these as well.
Maybe
the title music, which is "Run, Run, Run," is a spoof of Joan Jett's song "Bad Reputation." It's exactly the
no
same.
way.
Yeah,
It
Are you shitting
Yeah.
me?
No,
Yeah.
it is
That's
beat for beat.
sarcasm. Did you not get my sarcasm?
I did.
Come on.
I didn't.
As
I
soon
didn't
as
get
it
that.
started-
I genuinely didn't get that. I thought you were actually shocked.
Did
No.
anyone
So
spot the cameo
stupid.
of Greg Nicoretto in this?
Yes,
I don't think
Nicotero.
where was he
Yeah.
at?
He's one of the
He was in one of the
prop
sets,
guys.
wasn't he?
Yeah, so he apparently
just didn't see him.
assisted. So he's not credited in this movie. Allegedly, he assisted with some of the visual effects, which is mind-bending to me because his visual effects are fucking incredible. He was the lead visual effects on The Walking Dead. He done Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. Also the head of visual effects for The Evil Dead 2. And to have those credits to your name and then even go anywhere near the set of Gingerdead Man 2 blows my mind.
You have to assume this was clearly filmed on a film set. Like there was, like all the sets that they've used and all the locations they've just nicked from other films and be like, can we just film here for an hour? You just have to assume that Greg Nicotero was just walking by and just like, oh, can we just borrow you for a cameo for a minute? And
I don't know what he was doing walking by over there. He must have been lost because
But in terms of the visual effects, though, they are a vast improvement from the first movie, and they're not awful. They're not like to the point where you're like, oh, they're terrible. They were all right.
They're almost fun that I like. Me and Mark, I think I can speak for me and Mark, and on Mark's behalf, I'm saying he and I do tend to like the same type of horror film, especially a B, low budget. Give me all the practical effects. Give it to me. Do everything homemade, baby. Don't give me any CGI unless it's like it's so fucking good I can't tell that it's CGI. And so there were things about it. I will say this. There were things about the practical effects that I was like, yeah, I mean, like, even though some of them were like, no. Some of it is you got to be somewhat creative to do this and to make it look somewhat passable. And that's the point. It's not going to look great. It's just
No,
not.
but I mean the scenes where like the lady, the older lady who was a cougar, where she got her back cut up, and that looked quite cool. The guy who got his hand cut off while it was inside the puppet, that was quite a cool one as well. I mean, the only
them
really
getting
poor
killed,
one was the
them getting killed Friday the 13th style, like Kevin Bacon style, like that, because you know he was fucking while he got killed too. But the knife going through him, that was probably like the best kill, honestly. Like because it actually looked
half decent.
Somewhat,
But
like,
the thing is, as well,
realistic.
because of the kind of movie it is and what you're going into, you're expecting subpar level stuff. So when you see something that's remotely creative, you're like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Even though it's not awesome, your expectations are on a different level when you're watching a movie.
So many hit or misses. That's the problem with Charles Band and his full moon features. That's the issues with him, is that he starts on an okay premise. And we kind of get there a little bit here and there. We're like, okay, if you took these bits and pieces out and you had somebody else that maybe a little more like had a brain that could throw it, you might get a really good low budget horror film, like something really fun and a little satire. But the puppets I think the puppets are what set me off and made me so angry. They were so shit.
Which is
again, like I feel like it was like a mockery of itself with the Puppet Master franchise, which is a full moon production. I feel like
I know. I've seen all those stupid fucking movies too. Those movies are so fucking stupid.
And even just in the way that they're talking about how like the 13th movie in a franchise and stuff, it's like you are literally just taking a piss out of the Puppet Master here.
I know, and Child's Play.
I've got no other facts because there wasn't very many because this is a low budget shit movie. But it takes us nicely, you talking about puppets, into caption this, where we ask the listeners to caption that image.
God, I didn't. Stop showing it to me.
What, that?
It looks like a dick. I just can't stop it.
It is a dick.
It is a dick.
Like
Let's so the listeners done really well this week. I'm going to applaud. We didn't get a huge amount, but the ones who did play brought their A game. So we got Ranny Gazoo. What's that? Fuck knows, which made me chuckle. And they're a horror account on X.
I'm assuming they spell fuck nose as in fuck and nose as in nose on your face.
Yeah.
Dad's got steel. The name's Dick Nose. James Dick Nose. And they're a steelbook collector. Dave B Movies made me laugh a lot. Brilliant horror reviewer over on TikTok. Stand back, I have allergies, which instantly put the image of what would happen if that had allergies in my head.
That's why it was so wet.
Yeah.
This sinus infection.
Quote of the week, it was wet.
Attack of the Killer Objects. This is Anastasia. Really nice. Really good podcast as well.
Yeah.
I auditioned for the Muppets, but I didn't get the part. So, yeah, Gingerdead Man 2, I guess.
No, that's like my favorite one, I think, so far. It's the truth.
And finally, the girls at the Horror Friendly Podcast. This is Katie and Chantel, members of the Euro Podcast Network. When the guy on Tinder makes an extra effort for his unsolicited dick pic.
Girl, you ain't lying. They got eyes and hair.
I'm going to say it now. If anyone sends you an unsolicited dick pic and they have dressed their dick up in a tuxedo, given it eyebrows and eyeballs, they deserve a message back. They've gone the extra mile.
I don't get dick pics. I'm going to be honest.
I don't either.
Right now.
I don't understand.
As the owner of one, as the owner of a dick, I don't ever feel like it looks magnificent enough to take a picture of it and be like, hey, check out this glorious beast. You know, like this, it's not an attractive thing to be like, look at this, you know, like I like a pair of boobs, you know, I get they're nice. You can send nice boob pics, but like to send a penis pic, I'm like, why would you send that?
If like me, you're like limited in size, like the effort to get the correct angle to make it look like a little bit bigger, like it's just too much work.
He's trying to get roasted. He's trying to get bullied. Look, this is the thing. A dick is too aggressive. Okay, they're like this. They come at you like this. If I open up a message and I see something looking like it's trying to fight. No, I'm gonna tell you something. Don't send a dick pic. This is the thing. Unless your woman likes that. Okay, there are some women that they're like, "Oh, I like it, like sexy time."
I just don't think there is. I don't think
No,
women do, and that's why I'm
no.
curious to know.
You don't, Mark. There are women that don't like. They like it. Trust me. I don't want a dick pic. I've seen dicks. They all look the same. They just come in different shapes and sizes. Exactly. That one looks like a fucking candy cane or something. It's like, why does it have a curve in it? Maybe it hits the spot better. I don't know. But they all ugly. So stop sending unsolicited dick pics. Now, if your girl's like, oh, baby, show me that D, send it to her. Fine. But also, if she gets mad at you, it could be on the internet. I don't send naked pictures. That's my PSA. Because what if?
We've rolled Heather up quite a bit on this episode. As
y'all made my
can all
side hurt.
Yeah,
baby, and y'all pissing me off.
We're not going to rile her up anymore at all because that wouldn't be fair.
Broken Spirit 2.0, making tears of people flow. No lifelines, no one helps. These questions will make you yelp. Broken Spirit 2.0, making tears of people flow. No lifelines, no one helps. These questions will make you yelp. Broken Spirit, Broken Spirit, Broken Spirit, Broken Spirit.
Game time.
Like I knew there was going to be a game, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be that fucking Broken Spirit game. And I'm also pregnant, so like scientifically, I can't remember a fucking asshole.
Good,
like I can't remember anything.
You don't need to remember this week. And like I said last week, like I can see the guests when I play that VT. Heather was brilliant because as soon as I played it, she rolled her eyes, picked up her phone, sent a text, and then sat there looking grumpy, waiting for us to come back. And it brought so much joy to my face that she went, "Fuck you! I'm so annoyed."
I knew y'all were going to play this bullshit with me after making me watch a wet ding dong for an hour and 10 minutes.
But you're going to be happy with this one. So, Broken Spirit, if you don't know, is 10 questions. Today they're visual questions. If you get one right, you get 10 points. And you can keep going. If you get one wrong, the game is over. And you lose all
no
the points.
points.
You can leave at any time. So when you get a question correct, when you get one correct, you're going to hear this. If you're taking too long to answer a question, I'm going to pressure you with this.
Today, Junior!
So rude.
And if you lose and you get game over, you're going to get
You're
this.
still here. It's over. Go home.
At least it's not that game over. You know, that bullshit.
But you're going to like this quiz. This quiz is not themed around Christmas. It's not themed around the Gingerdead
Just
Man
like the
either.
movie.
Yeah.
We're on trend.
This is themed around one of Heather's most favorite things in the entire world. There's a picture of this thing behind her. This is themed around Bruce Campbell. So I'm going to show
your wheelhouse, man. This is it.
I'm going to show you some images.
It doesn't mean I'm
Campbell.
not going to fuck this up because I don't perform well under pressure.
And you have pregnancy brain as well, and I haven't experienced my wife with pregnancy brain.
You had a baby.
It's rough.
It's
rough, man.
do okay. So I'm going to show you a picture of Bruce Campbell. In fact, I'm going to show you 10 pictures of Bruce Campbell.
Shit.
All you need to do is look at the picture and tell me what movie that picture is from.
I knew it.
So we're going to start.
There are some
one.
movies I have not seen of him. I'm just saying, and now my brain is already on like that high alert where I'm thinking he's going to throw some in, and I'm not going to remember the name of the movie, but I'm going to know the picture, and that's what's going to piss me off. Because
just remember it like this. I mean, you have the tattoo on your leg. You've named your child after him. You have the pictures on the wall behind you. If you get these wrong, this is going to be slightly embarrassing for you.
I'm not going to be embarrassed. I don't give a fuck anyway. Kiss my fucking ass. You think I care? What are they going to come bully me?
Let's start with
probably. I'll hold it against you forever.
What's that from?
It's Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. It is Evil Dead 2. So there you go. You're off to a good start. You got 10 points. How about this one?
Oh, Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, so
Is
you're
that a
doing
good
well.
movie?
Yeah, because okay, before we continue the quiz, all right, Bubba Hotep, it's an experience. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say it's good or bad. It is very weird, and it
Right.
is not a normal to me. It doesn't. It's out of the realm of Bruce Campbellness, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has a thing.
Watch
doesn't he?
it. I would say, well, B horror movies. This is not it. Bubba Hotep's not a horror movie. I do own it on. I have it, but yeah. Anyways,
Let's go with the next one. Let's go with this one.
oh God, I don't know. I already
This is
don't
one
know.
I actually know. This is one I actually do
So
know.
if you don't know, you've got a couple of options. You can take a guess, and if you get it wrong, lose all your points. Or you
Yeah.
can take the 20 points you've got, and you could be second on the leaderboard, just behind Jim, who's got 30 points.
Yeah, I know.
And then
I
we'll,
know,
we'll
Jim. I know.
and then we'll
But
keep
Jim
playing.
also
and
got
we'll
to
see.
use me as a lifeline last week as well. So I feel like Heather should be granted a similar sort of thing and use me as a lifeline.
It's
for one
because
question.
it's because I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
He hates
Okay
pregnant
then.
women.
I do not. Don't start throwing me under the bus. I do not. Right, you can have a lifeline. Mark, what's that?
That is Spider-Man.
God damn it. I was going to guess Spider-Man, and now my lifeline has been sucked out of me.
Oh, to be honest with you, that was probably the only one I will know.
I've
going
never
forward.
seen the Spider-Man with Bruce in it, but I knew it because pop culture kind of stuff. And I was like, let me just go ahead and get Spider-Man. If I lose, I lose. And God damn it, now whatever.
You
Thank
could have done.
fine, but now I'm ruined.
Well, let's try this one. Let's see if you can redeem yourself.
I ain't gonna get it. Oh, it's the Chris. I feel like it's that Christmas movie. Oh my God. See, it's like not 12 days of something.
It's about shopping.
Yeah,
It's that weird
I know
holiday that you have in America.
Yeah,
Black Friday.
Yes.
it is. So you're now
Are
on
you
40
serious?
points. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I just guessed because I was like, wait a minute, it's not Thanksgiving-ish. It sort of is, but it sort of isn't. And I haven't watched it yet though, because I saw it and
It's
I was
good.
like, I
It's
don't
really
know.
good. It's
Yeah,
got
okay.
Dennis Bauer in it as well. It's really
Oh, I like
entertaining.
him. Yeah,
This is
I
where
met
it
him.
starts to get a little bit harder. So
It's
how about
already
this
hard
one?
as that dildo. Oh God. God, he's so fine. He makes me want to get pregnant again.
Don't do it. Don't do it again.
I can't. I don't want to take too long, but I know it's not. I know he was in some westerny shit. I just can't. I don't know. I can't
you
think
wanna-
of it. That is
Does this put you in
before.
the lead?
It would, yeah. You could walk away with 40 points and be in the lead.
I'm gonna walk away. I don't want to lose all my points. So I mean, unfortunately, I only got halfway through the quiz. It's 10 questions, right?
Yeah, well, we'll do the rest and we'll see how many you would have known.
Yeah,
So
I-
how about that one?
Oh,
I mean, I get it from this photo, Heather. I'll be honest with you. Looking at this
Yeah.
one, I'm like,
wait. Am I
yeah,
gonna
get
lose
it.
any points?
No,
No,
we're
no,
done now.
no,
We're done.
No, we're done. Okay. I feel like it. Adventure. No, I don't know.
That was
Briscoe County.
no, that one's from Congo. How about this one? This is a
Congo.
TV show.
Oh my God, I know what it is. I can't think of the. He can still get this. Scott, I went fucking blank. I do know the show. Just go ahead and tell me. I'm telling you.
My name is Bruce. How about this one?
Daddy.
Looks like an episode of the X-Files.
Close. It's that's from Dusk Till Dawn 2.
See, I didn't see that because, like, the first one, I'm not a big fan of that first one anyway.
Oh, the
but
first
like,
one's epic.
yeah, I mean, I know people like it. I'm a bitch and I don't. So there you
Well,
go.
You've got two more. These are the two that I thought were the hardest. So you've got this one.
God,
Really young.
I'm gonna slide out my chair. Damn. I don't know. Just tell me.
That one
Daddy.
is from Darkman. And the last one is more recent, and that is this one.
Why can he still get it? Papaw. Papaw Zaddy can get it. I don't know.
He's got that earrings and jewelry going on. He's rocking it.
I don't even like a man with rings, but bring them rings over here, bitch. Come here, knock me out. I don't care.
I actually prefer the knob. I feel like the knob is better.
Hormones be like, I bet, get away from me right now. Can you get pregnant while you're pregnant? I don't know.
That one is from Escort. Well, that was a very strangely erotic
sexual cruise.
Yeah.
Look, you already know how I feel about Bruce Campbell. My husband, when he doesn't have a beard, looks a lot like the younger, kind of like pre-beard Bruce Campbell. So like, he can get it.
See,
he did get it.
I feel bad now. I feel like I should have pre-warned you so you could like put a towel on your chair or something before we
Slide and all. No, I'm just kidding.
It's wet. We've had enough wet references
crazy,
tonight.
but like I'm a lady. Okay, I can control myself. But Bruce Campbell, the day he leaves this earth, don't talk to me at all. Neither one of y'all talk to me for like a week. I will be so sad, y'all. Like, I'm not joking. Too many people are dying, and then I'm like, y'all better.
How old is he? How old is this dude now?
67. 67,
really?
I believe.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, he can.
You say that, but Dick Van Dyke is about to turn. Is he about to turn 99 or 100?
99, 100.
And he's the new Coldplay video has just come out the other day, and he's like there dancing around as a feature for the new Coldplay video. I was like, Dick Van Dyke, man, what a dude.
Yeah.
They just don't make people like that anymore, and that's the thing.
They
like they don't make them like that, and so he's preserved.
He's a different breed of man.
Yeah.
They're preserved.
Like, look at me and Mark. Me and Mark are in our late 20s, and we're fucked.
Yeah. Okay. I know.
Right.
You and I the same age.
Yeah, but we let's be honest, all three of us for our age, we're still looking half decent.
I'm fine.
Yeah, man.
I'm not getting surgery, but like after I have this last baby, I told Steven, I'm like, as I get a little older in my mid 40s, because I'm gonna have small children, and I'm like, I'm gonna be getting a little bit of
Would you do that? Would you go under the knife and stuff like that?
I'm only gonna do the boob job. That's the only thing I would get done. And when I say boob job, this might be TMI, but you know me. I'm not going to get a big ass fake. No. I'm not going to get fake boobies. I literally am just going to be like, can y'all remember when I was 24 and they was way up here? That's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get that.
You just want them pulling up a bit.
Yeah, I really don't want any kind of like silicone or anything like that done. So hopefully when the time comes, I want to be as less invasive as possible.
Yeah, my wife's friend, she's had it done. She's had the implants. And I was like, so like, how long does that last? And apparently it doesn't last forever. Like, apparently you have to go back in and have them replaced after like 10 years or something like that.
It's 10 to 15 years, depending on, okay, this is the thing, the technology now, geez, I know some women that have waited almost 20. Also, it depends on how your body reacts to it. A lot of other health things. But I would say overall with technology, you really don't have to be as concerned, and it's a lot more safe because it's so normalized now in society. But I say do what you want. I'm not going to get plastic surgery on my face or anything. I don't want anything extreme like that. I will probably get some like fillers or Botox just to fluff my face up. But it's not going to change the way I look, other than keeping me looking a little, have people being like, how old's that bitch? Don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm not invasive like that. I'm not going to get like my knees done or any kind of crazy shit. Like, I ain't get my butt done, nothing like that. No.
That would be very extreme. But I think it's a wild thing that people do these things that they do to their bodies and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like I think it's different for a man. Like, I just think we don't give a shit. I think once you're married and you're like, yeah, I can let myself go now. I've bagged it. I'm done.
You better not. Okay, that ain't true for me. That ain't true for me, because I done told Steven, I said, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. You better be looking hot as fuck for me.
Yeah, but you guys have been like married like 3 or 4 times. You're down with the whole exchange thing. You're portraying
not
it up all
Steven.
the time.
I'm his first. He's only been married to me. Or you mean
yeah,
Scott?
I know, but
Yeah,
you've got a history of trading up and shit, and so Scott, you know.
Yeah, me and Heather go through husbands and wives like Pokemon cards. We collect them, and
I don't
now we've
collect
got.
them anymore.
No, I've got a
I don't
shiny
want
now.
to.
I've got a shiny one now. I'm happy. Before we get too personal, let's round this up. Mark, I'm going to let you take this first.
Glug, 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 glug.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I haven't got a lot to say, to be honest with you, about this movie. I do think it's a vast improvement on the first. I think the practical effects are better. I think the puppetry is better. I think the overall story, even though there isn't really a story here, there is no through narrative from point A to B. It's just a lot of references and a lot of meta poking at itself. I had a great time with it, though. I did think it was quite funny. There were certain elements to it that made me laugh a lot. And it's an hour long, you know. If you take out the bloat from the beginning, the end credit sequence, it's a simplified, long, extended episode of TV, which I didn't begrudge doing. You know, it expanded. It didn't expand on the Gingerdead Man universe. It didn't do anything. It didn't. The thing that annoyed me the most is that they showcased the entire first movie in the first 15 minutes as like a flashback sequence, as if to say, like, this is where we're up to in this point in the story. But then the sequel didn't expand on anything from the first movie, and you didn't need any of that introduction because it made no sense to this movie whatsoever. So I was like, why have you just wasted 15 minutes of my time with something that has no relevance to this movie? But all in all, I don't know. I had low expectations going in. I thought this movie was going to be just as shite as a first, but because it was marginally better, I think I have more appreciation for it than I necessarily should have. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it, and I'll probably watch the third to see where it goes. So I think I'm gonna go straight down the middle. I'm gonna give this a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay. I'm going to let Heather go last because I think Heather needs to have the last word on this. For me, this is without a doubt the worst movie I've seen since Cocaine Bear. But for some reason, I'm more on board with this than I was with that. Like, the effects in this are cheap and they're crap, but they're cheap and crap in a way I kind of appreciate. It's inappropriate and it's offensive, but unlike the Leprechaun movie that we covered, I knew that was what this was going to be. I knew full well what I was getting into. I don't know. The acting across the board's fucking atrocious. Everything about this movie is absolute dog shit. But I did have fun with it. I can't score it high because it's not a good movie. But would I turn it off if it was randomly on? Probably not. I'd probably watch it. So I'm going to give this a 1.5 out of 5.
That's still low.
Yeah, it's kind of what it deserves. Heather, you can kill this now. Away you go.
Okay, so basically, I'm going to pull a Mark. I'll try to sum it up in like 14 seconds, right? This movie was fucking insufferable to get through. There were a few times where I was like, can I just Google what happened and get by and not finish it? Because no, that's my roundup basically. Do not watch this. I do not recommend it. I didn't like it. I love low budget horror. This is barely a movie. I don't even know if you can call it a movie. Charles Band can kiss my ass. Full Moon can kiss my actual full moon back there because his butt's getting big. Let me just say, I'm going to give it it gets like a 0.5 out of 5 from me. I didn't like it. I'm only giving it a 0.5 because that kill I did think was pretty cool. Like the one kill with the big tits McGee and the guy. But like, the slimy, wet dildo puppet, I just can't. It's not even funny at that point. Like, I get it, but I'm like,
dude, I know we've seen worse.
Not seen many things worse than this. I was wrecking my brain thinking, when I get on to record, let me think if I can compare it to something. I watch a lot of low budget stuff. Well, I don't watch as much now with the toddler running around, but before that's like kind of my thing. It was like my niche, right? Like I love it. I can't think of anything else that made me want to like stick a curling iron up my own ass. It was just.
On that note, that's the perfect place. I've got the soundbite I needed. I don't need anything else now.
That's a spoiler warning.
That could be the new spoiler warning. I'm going to stick a curling iron up my own ass. A huge thank you for Heather for coming on. It's not very often we have you as a guest. I don't need to.
Haven't we got like Twilight Part 7 next year?
Yeah, we'll have a Twilight. I've also promised Heather a decent 80s movie, so Heather can actually talk about a film that is decent. Because Heather seems to get roped into crap.
My side hurts. This baby's kicking me. She's been moving the entire recording. This is the thing. Just give me some time to be postpartum for a while and to have the baby a little bit older, so I can have like at least one drink, so that I don't have to like fucking look at y'all sober and feel like I want to be bullying. Yeah. Oh, we're not going to go that old school, my dear.
Oh, we're going to go old school. Next time we're going like Maniac episode old school.
I knew he'd never forget. It's like 9/11. He never forgets.
And if you
did
can't
9/11 happen though?
Oh God, Jesus Christ!
Don't stop. And if you can't,
I'm surprised there is no backlash from that. By the way,
I am too, because that's a very American bullshit thing that you said, right? And so you think the conspiracy theorists are fixing to come and literally come for your ass. But
I expected it, and I encouraged it, and nothing happened. I know
nothing happened.
Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm
Happy
right.
Holidays.
Maybe people are on board.
Yeah,
I don't
Merry
know.
Christmas.
If you can't wait to hear Heather again, if you can't wait till she's back on this show every single month on the first of the month, you can find her on True Crime. We've pre-recorded loads, like we've got all the way up to the middle of next year. So Heather's going to be around regularly, even though in reality she's going to be at home looking after babies and toddlers and Stephen.
Jesus.
And next week, shall we say what we're covering next week, Mark?
Yeah, sure. What are we covering next week?
Again, this is why we've added it into the episode. Next week, we're going to be talking about Krampus.
No, I know what we're doing within like the next couple of weeks. I just can't remember the order in which we're doing them. I didn't know whether we finalized that.
Hack into your fucking recording, you son of a bitch.
Why do you like Krampus?
I love Krampus. I know it's like Tony Collette, right?
Next week, isn't it?
Tony Collette one, right?
Yeah.
Not any of the other little Krampus. Okay, yeah. Adam Scott. Oh, he can get it too. Like he has a big old nose, and that's what I like.
You Steve Carell fan?
Oh, he can get it now. Not Office Steve Carell.
No, not Office season 1, but like Office farewell episode or the last episode.
4 or 5 going on, and then like Steve Carell now with the gray hair and the beard. Oh,
yeah, I'm talking like when he comes back to be Dwight's best man. Like that is Silver Fox.
Yeah, that's when it starts getting like, all right, Steve Carell, you know what? You fine as hell, but
yeah, man, I'm a straight man, but yeah, I get it.
Of course, you do Krampus next week. It's like, let's bring Heather on for this beautiful Christmas episode. The only thing Christmas about this shit is that it's in December and I'm wearing a fucking Christmas shirt and you have some kind of fucking Christmas lights on, blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
to be honest, I was hoping for Black Christmas this week. We saw this in the final with Black Christmas. I was like, Black Christmas has got
the
this
74 one.
Yeah,
1974 one. Okay, that's the same guy who produced or directed Porky's. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Porky's? Yeah, I love Porky's. But I don't like Black Christmas. But I would have been, hey, it's Christmas, and I like the character of Billy, the one that's on the phone. I laugh my fucking ass off every time because it's so creepy. But y'all doing Krampus, so I love Krampus because it's not good. It's not a good movie, really. But like, I love it because I love Tony Collette. And anyway, thank y'all to all the listeners who voted for this movie.
Yeah, they got to get you to Gingerdead Man too. Well, next week we'll be back for Krampus. A huge thank you again to Heather. I guess that's a wrap. We'll catch you all next week.
Wrap it up like that puppet dick.
Ho ho ho, bitches.
It's the time to be afraid. It's Christmas time, it's time to talk about being named. And on this podcast of horror, we'll spread a little fear. Watch a horror movie now and grab a beer. ways to have fun and say a curse or two. You Run Podcast Horror Movie Review. Watch a horror, do it now, it's Christmas time. Watch a horror, do it now, it's Christmas time. Watch a horror, then listen to a great fun review. Run Past Christmas.
I actually prefer the knob.
Do it now, it's Christmas time. Watch a horror, then listen to a great fun review. Run Past Christmas. To Run Podcast Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.